Well. Today's just like apparently every other day on Rayburn this year for us. Listen, we have never claimed to be that great on Rayburn at times. In fact, sometimes we're just a flat out disappointment. And we have been a disappointment pretty much since the start of the year. Well, we made a top 10. Well, I don't know. I came in second, but that was like December 31st. So we can't even count that one. And then we did make a top 10 the first term of the year. But since then, we have absolutely been horrible. We were almost horrible on Conroe, and luckily kind of knocked it out with, oh, I better go. Kind of knocked it out with a good final day. Now, I don't know if I cut him off or doesn't matter. He's driving slow. So, I got a phone call the other day from Chad Potts from Bass Champs. And I was about to do my podcast with Luke Duncan. And he was like, hey man, mind if we put a camera in your boat? I'm like, yeah, I don't care. I didn't even really have time to think about it. So I was like, I don't really care either way. I'm like, camera runs my boat all the time anyways. So we had a camera all day long today. Didn't really think much about it. We went out there yesterday. We had one practice day. We were hoping to maybe find a bedfish or two. I was thinking, since Rayburn's usually on track with about every other lake, in fact, it's usually sometimes a little bit ahead. Toledo was popping them off like a week and a half ago. Lake Fort, which is 2 hours north of here, they're usually 2 to 3 weeks behind us. They're catching them all over the beds on the elites. Now, I'm not saying they're catching them all over like crazy, but they're catching fish. We didn't even find one. We didn't find not one yesterday. Now, it was a beautiful day to go sight fishing today. We didn't do it because it was like we didn't even find anything yesterday. But we also smoked on them yesterday. I'll put it to you this way. So Russell got bid, I got bid. It was pretty darn easy. I don't even know. All I know is this. This is the part that's crazy about fishing. And I'm letting y'all know I try to be as open as possible. Right? I will show you all the good. I will show you all the bad. And it's been kind of bad. Every day, I would say most of the bad has been the weather. Like, we just haven't been able to fish a lot of our places because it's been so nasty. Like the wind. We can fish anywhere we wanted to today. It was dead slick, dead calm. Perfect. It was kind of like that yesterday. We didn't think much about it. I ended up kind of doing a little kind of something, maybe not different yesterday, but I ended up getting a bite or two, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna set the hook. Everything else I didn't even have hooks on, but I was like, man, I just kind of want to see because it's kind of the area I'm at, whatever. First fish, 3-pounder. I'm like, oh, okay. A couple minutes later, 2 3/4. I'm like, yeah, no big deal. Getting to another place, kind of new, not new, but kind of like I hadn't fished it all year long. Get over there, get a bite. I mean, I'd gotten some bites, but I'm like, I'm gonna set the hook on this one, 5-pounder. Set the hook 3 times yesterday. 2 3/4, a 3, and a 5. We set the hook. We caught 30 fish today. I don't think we had a 3-pounder. We at least caught 30. The cameraman was like, man, I cannot believe y'all are catching this many fish and can't catch a decent one. I was like, I know. I was like, it's not like we're doing the same thing. We're mixing it up, catching fish. We're catching fish however we want to. Different areas, different depths of water, different places. Didn't matter. When you get snake bit, is that what we want to call it? Snake bit? Like when it starts happening, there's almost nothing you can do about it. It's horrible. What you really want to do, and this is why, sometimes you want all these tournaments to kind of go to the same place. Sometimes you don't. And I'm ready for. We got one more big tournament, one more big one. Now we got two. We got the Brandon Belt one. That's for $150,000. I hope they get right, or we get right, or something happens. And I don't know how they did today. I will say this: we were around tons of boats all day long. You know, like I said, not in the same area, tons of different areas. We never saw a fish get caught today. We caught like 30. We never saw a fish get caught. I don't know if they. I will say on live scope, they acted a lot different. We saw tons of fish today, and they just acted all disappointing. They were disappointing. We were disappointing. They were disappointing. I don't know. I don't even have a point to any of this. I'm just letting you know. I bet you that sun's brutal. It happens to all of us. And it's the worst. Is that not the worst feeling? I mean, it would have been okay if we had just gone out there and caught fish today. It was just fishing, but tournament fishing? Oh, it's just the worst. And a lot of times, like, we kind of get messed up. You know, like, oh, we probably should have done this, or we probably should have done that. This is one of those ones where we looked up and go, we got bit. We got bit yesterday doing the same thing. Yeah, it wasn't as good. We still caught 30. What we were doing, we thought was, hey, we don't know what we would have done different. That's the worst feeling, is when you have no idea what you should have done different. We ended up throwing our fish back. They wanted us to weigh them in. And I'm like, hey, look, I'm not walking up there just to weigh in a bunch of freaking 11 pounds. Not going to happen. So we threw them back. I know they might be upset about that, but hey, yeah, we ain't going out there to weigh in 11 pounds. It's just not going to happen. We got stuff to do. I got to drive to Dallas. I got my kids' game. Russell had to go drop his boat off to get a service done. We're out. I will say this: if that cameraman hadn't been in our boat, we would have stayed out there another hour or two. And that's usually what happens when you get mad at him. Just stay out there even longer. That's what we did. We didn't do it because we had a cameraman. It's a good day with the cameraman. He was awesome. It's my little rant. My little let y'all know that it happens to all of us. I guess it has to. It happens to all of us. We get in these and like, just gotta fish your way out of it. Hoping it doesn't end up 6 months later you're still in a rut. I will say one thing. I am a little concerned about Rayburn. Little concerned. So they're dropping this thing. They're dropping it about almost 2 inches a day. It's like 1.5, I'd say 1.8 inches is what they're dropping it a day. It's what it looks like. Right in the middle of a spawn. And they're going to drop it, I assume, till it's 6 foot low. 1.8 inches, it's 2 foot low now. Y'all can do the math. We just say, in a week, it's close to a foot. So they might drop this thing for another month. Right in, like, the prime spawn. I don't know what that's going to do to them. I don't think that's going to be great. Like, they might catch a bad year this year. Hopefully some of them will hold off and wait until April or something, or until they dropped it down. We're guessing 6 foot is what they're going to try to drop it down to. Like, that's what they had it before to start working on the dam. This can't be good for them. I guess that's why they haven't pushed up. That's my only guess. Because it was up to 63 degrees today, the water temp. And I'm not saying there was not some up there. Like, there's some fish up there. Very few. And I'm saying, I don't know if you can catch one off a bed. Like, You see one, it's just sitting there. It's like, it's not sitting there on the bed. It's like, I don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. How about that? Acting all crazy out there. Piss me off. It just makes me mad. Makes me mad thinking about it. I'm gonna go get me some pizza. Go soak in my house. I'm tired to drive to Dallas. Trying to get in a better mood. Then I'll be out of here 3 days later, practice for the belt. They better get right. I promise you that much. Go watch some Bassmaster. At least they're out there smashing them. See y'all.